Welcome back to Stamping at the Warren, and I'm Kim Tolton, and today I am sharing with you, I'm sorry I got a really croaky voice, cold bug, nothing else. I'm sharing with you this card that simply says so many smiles, and I think it's a lovely thing to send to somebody that you care about for whatever reason, just to let them know you're thinking of them. And it is actually quite simple to make. It's mostly punching and stamping, a little bit of freehand drawing, which doesn't have to be particular because it's meant to be a scribble, and an assembly job, so it's very quick and simple to make. So to start off with, I'll show you the stamp sets that we're using today. We are using the Petite Petals stamp set. Beautiful stamp set that allows you to make up combinations of words, but I just like the so many smiles and I've just left it at that, but you could equally do so many smiles to make it better, or so many smiles welcome baby, or yeah, all sorts of things that you could do. Even so many smiles to heal your heart. What a lovely thing. So that's one of the stamp sets. The next one is Flower Shop there, and then lastly is Petite Petals, and Petite Petals and Flower Shop work together really well. So although they don't have any sentiments in them, they are beautiful floral stamp sets and I adore them. Right, let's pop him to one side and we'll start making the card. So to start off with, you need your card base, which is a regular A6 card base. So 21 centimetres by 14.8 centimetres, and then the long side you score through the middle at 10.5 centimetres. You fold so that the unsightly ridge is on the inside, and burnish that fold using a bone folder. Next is your first matte layer, which is 14.4 by 10.1, and you can just pop that straight onto your card base. I'm using Fast Fuse here. You could use Tombow adhesive, you could use a glue stick, it's whatever rocks your boat really. I just like Fast Fuse, particularly when I'm demonstrating, but I love the fact that it's archival. And it's just so quick to make, and it bonds really well and stays there. So that's your first matte layer. On top of that, I'm using some of the Subtles Collection Designer Series paper stack. It is two-sided, and you get 4 sheets. It's a 12 by 12 pack, so it's a big pack. And you get 4 sheets of each pattern, and you get each colour in the colour collection in 2 different patterns, 4 different patterns if you count the reverse sides. Anyway, that's an aside. So this piece is going to be put on top of here. So this measures 14 centimetres by 9.7. and that can go straight down on there. Okay. Next is your central panel. So your first bit is a piece of Wisteria Wonder cardstock, which that first layer was Wisteria Wonder. So Wisteria Wonder cardstock, and this measures 11.4 by 6.8 centimetres, And then on top of that goes a piece of Whisper White cardstock that measures 11 by 6.4 centimetres. All the measurements will be on my blog, which goes live the same time as my videos go live, so don't worry about trying to watch and scribble down instructions at the same time. There's a link directly from my YouTube to my blog, so just follow the link and you'll be fine. Mat that down onto there, and then you do a little bit of a scribble. So you want a basic black marker. You could choose any colour you want really, and you're just going to do a freehand wiggly line that goes all the way down and then round and then all the way up and just up to there. So it doesn't have to be anything clever at all. And that can then be mounted onto your card base here, and I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals just to pop that layer up a little bit. So you can see the construction of the card is actually super fast, and you could have this stage made up in bulk in different colours. You could do masculine versions as well. And you can have that ready to go, and then you just finish it off when you need a card. Now for the stamping of the flowers. So I've just got some odds and sods of cardstock here, just Whisper White, and we're using Wisteria Wonder, and the other one I haven't got out is Elegant Eggplant. So Wisteria Wonder comes from the Subtles collection, and Elegant Eggplant comes from the Regals, but they work together really well. And I don't worry if I stamp up too many flowers, because they'll always get used in the end. Right, so start with the lightest colour, and you want to do one of each. So I've selected 2 Flower Shop stamps and 2 Petite Petals stamps. Now you will see, hopefully you can see there, if I come a bit closer maybe, there's a green mark on my stamp. That mark is where you will be able to line the punch up with the stamp. So when you're stamping, you actually want that mark at the top. Now I don't know if you can see that properly. Let's see if I can. There we go. Might be easier to zoom you in. Find you again. Right. So if you're looking at that stamp there, you will see that there is a wider space between these 2 stamps here, and my mark is immediately opposite that. Okay, so you want to stamp so that this wider mark is against the bottom line of your cardstock, and that will enable the punch to slot in beautifully without having to hopefully cut off too many corners to get to the stamp. So just go along and do a first generation and a second generation. So you probably won't use all of these, but it gives you more to choose from. And then I've got this more open Flower Shop one, and again have my mark so it's facing up and the wider bit is down the bottom. One and two, and we then want couple that are one of each in Elegant Eggplant. No, I'm going to use a fresh piece. I don't want to end up overlapping. There's a couple of those. A couple of these. Put those there to dry. And then you've got your little ones. Now these will fit along this edge here, and it's exactly the same principle. I bet you've not watched me stamping because I'm still zoomed in. Right, I've got to find you again. Right. I think this stamp might be too small for you to see easily. Yeah. So with this one you have exactly the same here. You've got a slightly wider gap between two stamps, between the two petals, and it's the same on every stamp. So again, you want that wider piece to be against the bottom here. So start with your Wisteria Wonder. And Elegant Eggplant, and same with this one, and I haven't got that one in the right place. And the last couple in the darker, in the Elegant Eggplant, can go on here. And this one. And you're just going to punch out the best ones. By the time these have dried, or by the time we've punched the other ones, these will be dry. And the colours do lighten up somewhat as they dry as well. So we can pop these ink pads away. It always bothers me when ink pads are left out because it's so easy to then get them contaminated. Got these all ready to go. So if we go with the Petite Petal punch first, and you can work your way along and you'll see what I mean about lining up of the punch. So let me hold this here. And you can hopefully see that there's the wider gap with the point going in, and this is where I mark mine in my stamps. Okay, there you go again. Right, so I have sponged the edges of all of those Petite Petals and Flower Shop pansies. And so now all you need to do is decide on what you're going to use on your card. So in the original I've got just one flower, layered flower at the top and two at the bottom. So you can decide how many you want, but The main thing is curl up the edges of the flowers that you choose to use. So I like to have one of each, and then your third one could be maybe a lighter shade. So I think I'll go with that one. And you get such a lovely variation in colours by sponging the edges. So that's your 3 there, and then you want 3 petite petals. So again, have a variety, be very gentle about curling these ones, and try and get differences in intensity of colour again, differences in shade. It's a nice little one. And so we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's probably all we need. So these will all go into a little pot marked, one pot marked pansy petals, and the other will be, or pansy flowers, the other will be petite petal flowers. And now you build, so you want your Stampin' dimensionals. That's how I like to pop everything up. And you just want a Stampin' dimensional on the back of 2 of the smaller flowers and 2 of the larger flowers. 1 dimensional is enough. And then select which you're going to mount on top of which. So I think, yeah. And those 2 can be the contrast. So then remove the backing and mount your flowers in the middle. And then these 2 will get put on without being popped up. So if you place where you want your popped up flowers to be, I'll just stick one like that in, and then one like that. So the smaller, the one without any mount on it, without a dimensional, just pop a bit of fast fuse on the back, pop that in there, and then the other flower can get mounted on the corner here. And in this end, another bit of fast fuse here. And then mount the flower, just so. That's gone on a little wonk. There we go, so mount that just so. And a few basic rhinestones. And then all we've got left are the banners. Lost me poke it all. Here we go. Dimension on there. One in there. I think that is enough. And then you just want your 2 little banners. So onto this one, these are 1.5 centimetres wide. We're going to stamp the So Many Smiles at one end using basic black ink. Make sure it's coming out right. Yep. There we go. And you want to create banner ends using the banner punch. And I know I've shown you this several times before, that you can go up to 1.5 centimetres wide. Will go in by going through the top of the punch and out between the cutting blades. And do the same on this side. And then with this one, we just want a short banner, and this one will go on top here. So you just want a little bit of tear and tape up there. And pop your sentiment on top. And then more fast fuse on the back of this. And your sentiment can slot in here. Just like that. And just like that, you have your card. And that's it. So you could put as many or as few flowers on that project as you like. It's entirely up to you. I am going to do one thing, which is I'm just going to draw another squiggle just along here, just to finish it off. And I think that's lovely. So I hope you've enjoyed that today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. The full tutorial will be up on my blog with all the sizes, etc. and all the products used. And there's a really easy click on the icon, so if you see a product that you're interested in, you can just click it and it will take you straight through to my online store. If you're not in the UK, don't worry. If you click on the link, it will take you through to stampinup.net, probably in the States. You can find all my social media accounts in the show more section below today's video, and feel free to leave comments, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another project. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and ta-ta for now.